Change of Command ceremony. And on behalf of the Charleston District, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, we give a special welcome to all commanders, chiefs, community leaders, federal and state partners, and distinguished guests. This is an indoor ceremony, therefore no salute is required by the military members in the audience. From ancient times, armies throughout the world have conducted ceremonies to commemorate victory over the enemy, to honor comrades in arms, and to celebrate special occasions such as the Change of Command. History reveals that in the Middle Ages, it was not uncommon for soldiers in the field to be unaware of whom their commander were or what they looked like. The formal Change of Command afforded these soldiers the opportunity to witness the proceedings and actually see their commanders. The Continental Army of the United States conducted the first official ceremonies in America. This was the basis from which the present ceremony is derived. Today, the primary purpose of the Change of Command is to witness the formal transfer of total responsibility, authority, and accountability from one officer to another. These ceremonies have added color and pageantry to military life while preserving tradition and stimulating esprit de corps. We hope that you enjoy today's historic event. The reviewing officer for today's ceremony is Major General Holland. The colors will be presented by Joint Base Charleston Honor Guard, and Ms. Leah Howenstein will sing the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party, and please remain standing for the presentation of the colors and the national anthem. Symbolize the very soul of the United States of America and the United States Army, for they record the glories of the past, stand guardian over the present, and inspire soldiers and civilians the loyalty, duty, and courage to achieve victory in the future. In the past, colors served as a rallying point for soldiers during battle.
Sir, permission to post the colors. Post colors. Forward, march. More time, march. Detail, halt. Unseat colors. Step. Present arms.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the national anthem. Ms. Leah Howenstein, a dear friend of Lieutenant Colonel Honderd, will sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
and gentlemen, please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Moses from Fort Jackson's 4th Battalion, 39th Infantry Regiment.
Let us pray. Giver of life and Almighty Lord, today I invite your presence here during this change of command for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Charleston District. First, we bring to you Lieutenant Colonel Palazzini and his family, Courtney, Nicholas, and Gabriella. Thank you for the sacrifices they have made and all that they have done in leading this district. Continue to strengthen them in their next endeavor at War College in Washington, D.C. Make them prosperous in all they do. Second, we lift up to you the new commander, Lieutenant Colonel Honderd. Grant abundant blessing upon her. I ask that you give her wisdom to weather each and every storm that she may encounter here. Help Lieutenant Colonel Honderd be a woman of integrity, and especially to have the compassion that will enable her to be a leader in a way that's redemptive and capable. Finally, I also implore your blessings on all the men and women serving in this great district. And we pray this in your holy name. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. I offer this opportunity to recognize our official party seated in front of me. Commander of South Atlantic Division, Major General Holland. She's joined on the stage by Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Palazzini, outgoing commander of the Charleston District, Lieutenant Colonel Rachel Honderd, incoming commander of the Charleston District, and Miss Lisa Matheny, Deputy District Engineer for Programs and Project Management, and also our senior civilian. I represent the entire district in extending a warm welcome to families and friends seated in the audience, including Mrs. Courtney Palazzini, Nicholas, and Gabby, Mr. and Mrs. Anthony Palazzini, Miss Karen Palazzini, Miss Catherine Luciani, Miss Stephanie Yeager, Miss Kristen Maines, Katie, and Elizabeth. Mr. and Mrs. Jerry Zwock, Mr. and Mrs. Matthew Welch, the Babbitt and Dewey families, and also watching today, Mr. and Mrs. Greg Towler. We're extremely honored to have so many distinguished guests in our audience today, and I would like to take this moment to recognize the following members. Mayor John Tecklenburg, City of Charleston. Mayor Marilyn Hatley, City of North Myrtle Beach. Mayor Tim Goodwin, City of Folly Beach. Mayor Jane Darby, Town of Edisto Beach. Mayor Will Haney, Town of Mount Pleasant. Mayor Brendan Barber, City of Georgetown. Dr. Larry McAllister, Senior Executive Service, South Atlantic Division. Mr. Leland Colvin, Deputy Secretary, South Carolina Department of Transportation. Lieutenant General Roger Thompson, United States Army, retired. Command Sergeant Major Douglas Paget, South Atlantic Division. Mr. Alvin Taylor, former Director, South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. Also, a special welcome to our congressional staff members in attendance today. A few things about our wonderful district. Established in 1821, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Charleston District, was initially charged with constructing Forts Johnson, Moultrie, and Sumter. The district established a permanent Corps office in Charleston in 1871. Since then, the district has had a unique and varied program to meet the engineering, environmental, and emergency management needs of South Carolina, the United States, and the nation. The Civil Works regulatory, military, and interagency support programs serve a diverse group of customers, which keeps the staff of approximately 250 employees fully engaged in delivering the program. I represent the many outstanding members when I say Charleston District is proud to honor its leaders today. On behalf of the Charleston District, Ms. Alicia Timmons, Executive Assistant, presents red roses to Ms. Courtney Palazzini to express appreciation for Courtney's love and support to her husband and the district over the past 2 years. Alicia also presents small gifts to Lieutenant Colonel Palazzini's son Nicholas, daughter Gabriella, for their support to their mother and father. Jenkins, Executive Assistant, presents a bouquet of yellow roses to Ms. Susan Zwock. Lieutenant Colonel Honderd's mother, to show appreciation for her support and to symbolize a warm beginning of their relationship with the team members and families of the district. Yvette also presented a gift to Mr. Jerry Zwak, Lieutenant Colonel Honderd's father, for his continuing support to his daughter. The change of command ceremony is a traditional event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. Key to the ceremony is the passing of the unit's colors. These colors represent not only the lineage and honors of the unit, but also the loyalty and unity of its soldiers and civilians. The colors are the commander's symbol of authority. Historically, wherever the commander is, there are also the colors. And historically, commanders ensured their unit flags were carried by one of their most trusted officers. Today, district commanders select a trusted civilian advisor to perform the honors. The United States Army Corps of Engineers is a unique organization that has a rich partnership between its military and civilian members. Therefore, Colonel Palazzini has chosen our senior civilian, Ms. Lisa Matheny, for this honor. She represents all employees of the district, and she will pass the flag to the outgoing commander and receive it from the incoming commander at the conclusion, which symbolizes the transfer of authority. Because of the reverence the commanders feel toward the colors, it's kept over their heart during this transfer that you'll see. The passing of the colors demonstrates to the soldiers and civilians of the organization the old commander has passed the mantle of leadership to the new commander, and with this, also passes the loyalty of the workforce to their new commander. At this time, you'll see them move forward. By the authority of Army Regulation 600-20, paragraph 2-5, the undersigned assumes command of the Charleston District, United States Army Corps of Engineers, effective 12 July 2019. Signed, Lieutenant Colonel Rachel A. Honderd. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct honor to introduce Major General Holland.
Well, good morning, family and friends of the Charleston District. It is great to be in Charleston today. Of course, it's always great to be in Charleston today, or on any day, I should say. Great food, great people, great scenery, great Southern culture. I mean, coming from Atlanta makes me wonder, maybe we should be moving, maybe our headquarters should be moving to Charleston. Glad you support that, Lisa. I wonder if anybody's thought about that, whether to move the headquarters from Atlanta to Charleston. We'll ponder that. I am just kidding. Please do not do any press releases about our headquarters moving out of Atlanta. Just trying to express how enthusiastic we are to have Charleston and our family. So welcome to our distinguished guests. We have many, many leaders and representatives of different agencies, state and local partners here today. They have all been highlighted already, but these relationships are so important to us, to the Corps of Engineers, that I'd like to also recognize them as well. We have, I believe, 6 mayors here, and I think that's probably a record. I've not yet been to a change of command that has 6 different mayors. So mayors Tecklenburg, Hatley, Goodwin, Darby, Haney, and Barber. We have Deputy Secretary of South Carolina's Department of Transportation. We have congressional staff members from the offices of Senators Graham and Scott, Representative Clyburn and Cunningham. We have leadership from the South Carolina Ports Authority, Ms. Barbara Melvin. Thank you all for being here today. It is only with the strong relationships with you all in the Charleston District that we're able to advance programs to the benefit of the people of this state, this region, and ultimately our nation. Would also like to recognize Lieutenant General Retired Roger Thompson, who's here. Sir, it was nice to meet you in person, and we welcome you to our ceremony. Thanks to the team that organized this ceremony. These are not, this looks like it's like it was easy to do. It might look that way, but these are very complicated operations to put all these pieces together. And we couldn't do it without a lot of external support as well. The Joint Base Charleston Honor Guard, who presented the colors, Chaplain Moses for providing the invocation, and then Ms. Leah Hallenstein, actually not external, though external to Charleston, but not external to the Corps. She's from the Seattle District, for singing the national anthem. That was very well done. You all make this ceremony very special. So as was already explained, the change of command ceremony is an important custom in our Army. It signifies the passing of the leadership mantle and the authorities, obligations, responsibilities that go with it from one commander to another. A change of commander has big implications, not the least of which are legal implications, but also clarity and orders and compliance with command direction. And it's important that the transition is public and very clear to all. However, the change of command ceremony has even more significance. It gives us the opportunity, perhaps serves as a forcing function every 2 to 3 years, to recognize the achievements of an organization, to acknowledge the outstanding people in the unit. And so that's why we're here today, to recognize 2 exceptional Lieutenant Colonels, Jeff Palazzini and Rachel Honderd, greet their families and friends, and brag about the incredible achievements of the entire Charleston District over the last 2 years. And there are a lot of achievements. The Charleston District has an immense responsibility. It consists of over 240 civilian and military personnel and has a large portfolio across all functions of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Programs worth over $450 million. So some highlights of what Charleston does. Of course, we'll start off with the Charleston Harbor Deepening, known as Post 45, which moved into construction phase in 2017. The project is the largest contract in the history of the district. At Fort Jackson, Pierce Terrace Elementary School is approaching completion, $27 million in new construction, and will be open to students this summer. Charleston District continues to work closely with Fort Jackson and contributes to the training of 50,000 new soldiers annually. The Joint Base Charleston Visitors Quarters project will reach completion in late 2020, a project worth $59 million in construction, and serves a long-standing need to increase the capacity for visitors' quarters on that base, providing over 250 rooms. Charleston consistently champions strategic communications and has engaged in over 63 media interviews promoting water safety and hurricane preparedness, among many other things. And let me add, because they are so good at this, I personally charged them to shepherd a number of communications initiatives across our region. They are that good. Following Hurricane Florence, Folly and Myrtle Beaches lost over 200,000 cubic yards of material each. A quick response by the USACE team resulted in both projects receiving contract modifications to replace the lost sand through beach renourishment. One of many examples of how it is possible, with the right authorities and conditions for the federal government, to be nimble and responsive and save money all at the same time. And more on that hurricane. As this audience well knows, the flooding impacted South Carolina for several weeks. Rain inundation throughout the state caused several rivers to overflow, reach historic levels. Flood mitigation efforts involving the emplacement of HESCO barriers along U.S. Highway 501 ensured a vital corridor remained open during the flooding. USACE is proud to have supported this state during that period, and this district stands ready to do so again in the future. So I could go on and on, but we'd never get out of here if I listed all of their accomplishments. So to Jeff, right now he is thinking, it really wasn't me, it was the great team. And while that is true to some extent, the success of an organization is very dependent upon the leadership of the commander. Jeff has made a difference in Charleston and across our region. I look back at the summer 2017 issue of the district's Palmetto Castle, by the way, a unique and distinct quarterly publication distributed by the district. And Jeff said, after he assumed command in that article, he noted that, quote, "I'm a true believer in leadership by walking around," close quote. And that has definitely turned out to be true. He is very good about adding his personal touch and getting to know people. And in the process of doing that, he developed a deep mutual respect with the workforce. Jeff, I can't tell you how many times a Charleston employee has said to me, "Ma'am, we love Colonel Palazzini." Now, I'm always suspicious, so it's possible you paid him to say that. But in all seriousness, there are other data points as well, such as last year's anonymous federal employee survey, through which the Charleston District earned the title World-Class Place to Work, the only entity in our division and one of only a few of the 43 USACE districts to earn that recognition. Let's give them a round of applause. In addition to being a personable leader and taking care of the district, Jeff also demonstrated that he is what we like to call an enterprise leader, which means the decisions he makes and initiatives that he advocates aren't just in the interest of the district family, but also appreciating the bigger picture and how Charleston fits into that picture. This is not an easy thing to do because sometimes the enterprise solution is something different than what the district would vote for. It takes a mature, confident, and visionary commander to do that. I sincerely appreciate his example, his genuine concern for the team, and the thoughtful ideas that he brought to the table. He is someone we could all rely upon. We will miss your presence in the South Atlantic Division, and we wish you all the best as you move on to Washington, D.C., where you will attend the College of International Security Affairs. You definitely have a bright future in our Army, and we will all be bragging someday we knew him when. To Jeff's family, Jeff would also be saying right now that he wouldn't be where he is were it not for his family. So first to his children, Nicholas and Gabriella. In the time I've known Jeff, I've learned that his priority is them. And these are truly amazing kids. Frequently finding themselves as new students at a strange school did not deter them from making their mark, excelling in academic and athletic pursuits. Nicholas plays baseball. He does, as he put it to me last night, he does some pitching and also plays left field. Gabriella told me she plays basketball in the position of point guard. So I played basketball too. I know, it's hard. Really did. I have proof. But I was never good enough to be a point guard. Decent ball handling skills would have helped in that, I suppose. But the point guard position requires leadership skills, and when I commented that she must have leadership skills, she broke out in a big, confident smile and said, "Yes." Clearly, she is going places too. When I asked them both if they were looking forward to moving to D.C., they said cheerfully that they were, which surprised me. Kids having to move out of schools, move out of their community can be a traumatic event, but they're very positive about it. So this is as good a time as any to highlight military children in general. Every day in our Army, our kids are impacted by decisions made well above their level and certainly above their level of understanding. Their soldier parent is likely working long hours, missing birthdays, track meets, and piano recitals. Our kids are saying goodbye to friends at school because their parents are moving to another assignment. The Army tries hard to move families during the summer, so it's not such a disruption, but it's not always possible. Harder yet, they are saying goodbye to a parent who is deploying into harm's way, perhaps for a year. These are hugely impactful events on a child, and they never forget them. So Nicholas and Gabriella, please know how much we appreciate your support to your parents, the role models you are in front of your peers, and the difference you are making by being a part of our Army. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give these Army kids a round of applause. And great credit goes to his other half, or better half, his wife, Courtney. I enjoyed getting to know her better last night at dinner, but I'd already heard a lot about her from many corners. Most of all, her husband, of course. There's a reason Nicholas and Gabriella are so grounded and positive and grown up, and much of the credit goes to Mom. I mean, Court is totally squared away. Just listening to how she organized and arrayed forces for this move from Charleston to D.C., she figured out the least disruptive way to make the move. And trust me, I know how tough it is to move to D.C. from the hinterland. I've done it twice. This will be probably the smoothest transition of any D.C.-bound family. Courtney, thank you for what you do as an Army spouse. Soldiers don't accomplish what we accomplish without the consistent and unrelenting support of our partner in life. You are a great example of that support for Jeff, your kids, your community, and our Army. Ladies and gentlemen, please also join me in a round of applause for the And there are always more behind the scenes who round out the family. We are happy to have in attendance today Jeff's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Anthony Palazzini, his sister Karen, Aunt Kathy, Jeff's mother-in-law, Miss Stephanie Yeager, and sister-in-law Kristen and nieces Katie and Elizabeth. Thank you for your support of this amazing family. So one more time, ladies and gentlemen, let's give the entire family a round of applause. And so now it is time that we turn the page to talk about the incoming commander, Rachel Honderd. Originally from Seattle, Washington, Rachel's parents and siblings reside across several states: Washington, Oregon, Arizona, Colorado, and Texas. And some of those family members are here today. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Gerald Zwak from Arizona, along with her sister and brother-in-law, Leah and Matthew Welch. Close family friends also attending the Babbitt and Dewey families. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Greg Cowrie, are viewing online from Washington. Welcome to you all. So Rachel will fit in seamlessly with the team here in Charleston. She is a warm and engaging person. That will certainly work in this district. She has a passion for reading, gardening, and outdoor activities. She's climbed Mount Rainier. And while Charleston offers little in the way of mountains, it is definitely the perfect place to fulfill her dream of becoming an expert sailor. Now, she also has a language certification in Arabic. I'm not sure how that's going to come into play in Charleston, but Charleston does have a diverse portfolio, and knowing Lisa Matheny and this team, they will come up with something that will leverage Rachel's unique language skills. So Rachel's personal mantra is think big thoughts, an outlook already embraced by this district, which will sustain its successes over the next 2 years. Rachel is not new to the Corps, having served as the Deputy Commander of the Rock Island District and then as Deputy Commander of the Afghanistan District. But even so, not just anyone gets to lead in the South Atlantic Division. We held tryouts in 2017. We ordered a couple hurricanes so that we could test a few candidates and see how they would perform. Rachel went to the U.S. Virgin Islands following Hurricanes Irma and Maria. She didn't just do a great job there. She made things happen in an environment that needed it. She made a name for herself in our region and among the other agencies supporting the response. She scored really high, and look at her now. She's here in Charleston. So I guess it's appropriate to say, welcome back to the South Atlantic Division, Rachel. We are excited to have you on our team again, but a word of caution. So as you've seen, your district will be watching you. Starting today, they will collect photos and tidbits and sound bites about you. They will be sitting in your corporate board meeting taking copious notes, and you're going to think, wow, they're really trying to implement my intent. They really care what I have to say. But actually what they're doing, they're keeping a record so that when you come to your change of command 2 years from now, you and your family are going to be regaled with all of your habits, tendencies, and idiosyncrasies. Keep that in mind. But all kidding aside, to this amazing and talented Charleston team, thank you for hosting us and for executing a perfect ceremony. But more important, thanks for what you do every day in support of the people and resources of our region, essayons and building strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, the former Charleston District Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Palazzini.
You didn't have to say former, so. Major General Holland, Command Sergeant Major Paget, distinguished guests, family, mentors, friends, and Charleston team. To start, what a tremendous job by the color guard, our singer, the chaplain, and the planning committee. Thank you for making this such a special event. And ma'am, thank you for your trust and mentorship, allowing me to serve with this incredible team. Without a doubt, you and Command Sergeant Major Paget provide the leadership, guidance, and latitude to accomplish our mission, and we thank you for that. Okay, team, here we go. Lisa told me to stay on script, so I will. Most likely. Mayors Tecklenburg, Hatley, Goodwin, Darby, Haney, and Barber. Thank you for being here today amidst your busy schedules to be a part of this event. Your partnership in some of the most challenging things we do is absolutely vital in helping us to get it right. It has been so rewarding to get to know each of you in your cities and gain a better understanding of how USACE's mission can complement local goals. I'm equally appreciative of our relationship with the strong congressional delegation and staff that the state of South Carolina benefits from. We could not be successful without your continued support and understanding of the Corps' mission. The same must be said for our partner federal and state agencies. From hurricane response to harbor deepening, military construction to regulatory permitting, our relationships with the South Carolina Department of Transportation and Secretary Hall, South Carolina Department of Natural Resources and retired Director Taylor, U.S. Coast Guard and Captain Reed, South Carolina Ports Authority and Mr. Newsom, and many, many others here today make the hard work so much smoother under conditions that are often very challenging. Thank you all for your teamwork as we push boundaries together, striving to accomplish many ambitious goals. However, those relationships are not built by the district commanders who cycle through every 2 years. The bulk of that work is done by the professionals who work next door and in our field offices throughout the state. Their dedication and ability to deliver world-class solutions are the foundation upon which these relationships exist. So I'd like to take some time to talk about this great collection of Army civilians and the work they do. It's a daunting task, it really is, to try to summarize 2 years of work on so many impactful projects with some of the most professional people I've had the pleasure of working with in the Army. A statistic stands out that may help me illustrate the point. In 2018, out of 43 districts, Charleston District's total program was in the top 40%, while also having the second smallest district in total number of employees. So as our senior civilian Lisa, who's an economist, will tell us, that means the work we do is the fourth largest in all of USACE per capita. Simply put, these employees carry a heavy load, and they do it extremely well to deliver value to the state and the nation. They are a tremendous group, and and we have accomplished much together. In 2018, Charleston District was designated as a world-class workplace within USACE. This was a significant achievement, attained by only a handful of other districts nationwide. There are several criteria used for the award, but I think it boils down to this: outstanding supervisors taking care of their employees, and employees who feel empowered to do work that makes a real difference. And that's really the story I hope everyone hears about the Charleston District. That's how we make an impact on South Carolina and the nation every day. We are deepening the harbor, a national priority that continues to be the standard for planning and construction efficiency and will benefit the entire country. At Fort Jackson and on Joint Base Charleston, our projects directly impact the readiness of our warfighters every day. We partner with the VA and reserves to touch the lives of our retirees and all components of the total force. We are charged with balancing environmental stewardship with responsible economic growth. That is not an easy task in South Carolina, but our regulators are passionate about getting that equation right. Our beach work reduces risk to people and infrastructure all along the South Carolina coast, including the Grand Strand and Folly Beach. And when a disaster impacts our fellow citizens, many of these dedicated employees volunteer to be first on site, helping with response and recovery, while their co-workers here pick up the extra workload to ensure we continue to meet our primary mission. And our support staff is the backbone behind all that work, keeping everyone connected, mobile, and safe. This is indeed a world-class workplace, and I'm honored to have been part of the team for the last 2 years. Even after all that, I've left out so much of what you do. But to each employee of the Charleston District, I want to say thank you. Your passion was an inspiration to me every day. There was no nuance or detail you were unwilling to explain to ensure I understood the full breadth of the complex topics that you all manage. Y'all manage. I may have not quite mastered how to properly pronounce all the street names here in Charleston, but I surely understand how your professionalism and expertise positively impacts this state. You made this an incredibly rewarding and fun 2 years. I am your biggest fan, and I look forward to seeing your many successes in the future. Lieutenant Colonel Honderd, this team is ready for your leadership and guidance. They will overcome any obstacle the district may experience, and they will never fail to impress. I truly envy your next 2 years. I'll end with where it all starts for me. A heartfelt thank you to my mentors and family. It means so much to see and hear from those who have made such an impact on our family throughout our 20 years of service. Without your guidance, example, and a whole lot of patience, the incredible opportunity of the last 2 years, it simply wouldn't happen. And no one could have a more supportive family. A wife who handles the turbulence of Army life with an unmatched strength, 2 of the most resilient Army kids you'll ever meet, and parents, aunts, in-laws, and nieces who are willing to travel, does help being here in Charleston, to keep us connected and stay an important part of our lives. Thank you for all of your love and support. This has been a tremendous experience. Many thanks to everyone for your continued support of this district as they engineer solutions for our nation's toughest challenges. S.A. Arms.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Commander of Charleston District, Lieutenant Colonel Honderd.
So, thanks, Paul. Appreciate it, and all the work that the team has done to put this on for us and give us this opportunity to come together and celebrate the district and amazing leaders such as Jeff Palazzini, Major General Holland, Command Sergeant Major Paget, community leaders. It's just, the outpouring is amazing and incredible, and it's clearly indicative of this district and its leadership. Thank you for attending today's ceremony. I'd like to also recognize the fantastic job done by the Color Guard from Joint Base Charleston. And of course, Leah, thank you. As always, beautiful singing, and it's very touching, so thank you. Chaplain Moses for giving the invocation, and of course, he couldn't have done it, like I said, without the team from Charleston District putting this whole event together, so thank you. Truly well done. As the incoming commander, I know my job here is to be brief, be brilliant, so I brought my little piece of paper to remind me, and be gone. I'm the lucky one who gets the next couple of years with you all, and so it's an honor, but I know I got to be a little bit quick here, and I'll get to know you all in the weeks, days, months, and years to come. I'd like to say to the district's most precious resource, our people. I look forward to meeting each of you. I've already met a few, and there's many more to go, and I really am excited to meet you and work shoulder to shoulder to accomplish this amazing and incredibly varied mission that this district does. Just listening to what both the General and Jeff highlighted today, it's such an honor and privilege. I'm truly humbled to be part of this team with Lisa and the 240 people on this team that really just shoulder the work. So I'm excited to be here. I'm honored to be your commander, and you have my commitment to be the best leader I can be. I would like to take a moment to give special thanks to Lieutenant Colonel Palazzini and his family, Jeff and Court, Nicholas and Gabrielle. You've been so welcoming. The work that you have been doing behind the scenes did move your family at the same time that Jeff was having to spend the time getting me caught up in. Well, he's got a lot of work. I can spell you safe for sure. But what this district does is just incredible. And so transitioning with me and being able to focus on that time is truly valuable, and I thank you all for that. More importantly, Jeff, what it is clear is that you've left an imprint of excellence on this district and this community. I wish you the best to both you and the families moving forward. Thank you for what you have helped. And so thank you. Major General Holland, thank you to you and the division team for selecting me after my tryouts. Apparently I didn't screw it up. And so thank you for allowing me to come and serve in the Charleston District. This team and area in the country actually have very special significance to me in my life, because I actually began my Army career, and I won't admit just how many years ago, although I do think it's in the bio somewhere, in Fort Jackson, South Carolina. And so I went to basic training there, and here I am again. And as I reflect on this, my start as a young enlisted soldier, that is how I learned Arabic, was during my enlisted time, and I didn't understand the full scope of what the Army does, and to include the Army Corps of Engineers. Now, after multiple moves, deployments, roles both in troop units as well as the Corps, I've truly found my passion for service to this nation, and it is within the United States Army Corps of Engineers. In my career serving as a Civil Works project manager, an operating project manager for a hydropower dam, and the deputy commander, I still have plenty to learn. There's just so much still out there. But I find myself back in the place I started, a better soldier, a better leader, and a person ready to learn from this team and serve this team and the community. I know I couldn't do this without the tremendous support of my family, to include my parents, Susan and Jerry, and Greg and Diana, that are watching from the other side of the country, and of course Amy and Matthew, as my sister and brother-in-law. My friends, that Leah, Beth, as a mentor, a friend, and my actual first boss in the Corps. And she still is she's still a fan of mine, I guess, so I must be learning. Thank you to my mentors who have given me sage advice throughout the years. I truly appreciate what you've invested in my life, and I pray that that return on my investment is the commitment to the Charleston District and my service to you all. Thank you so much for your love, support, positive example, and your strength. Thank you again, General Holland, Jeff, Lisa, and the Charleston District, as well as the community and our distinguished guests. I'm truly excited to join the Charleston team. Séance.
On behalf of the Charleston District, I want to quickly say thanks again to those that contributed to the ceremony. A special thanks to the Honor Guard from Joint Base Charleston, Chaplain Moses from Fort Jackson, and Miss Leah Hallenstein from Seattle District. And our other team members from Charleston who put a lot of effort into making today a special occasion. Upon completion of this ceremony, to the audience, I invite you to join us at a reception in honor of our new commander, Lieutenant Colonel Honderd. The reception will take place at the rear of this room behind you. And those wishing to bid Lieutenant Colonel Palazzini and family farewell, they will return to the front of the room after this ceremony is complete. So I ask now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the departure of the colors and remain standing.
Forward, march. Detail, halt. Place in position to retire color. Forward, march. Mark time, march. Detail, halt. Present arms. Order arms. Left, haste. Call left, march. Coast. Forward, march. Right, face, march.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in singing of the Engineer Song and the Army Song. The words can be located on the back of your program.